Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a little bit since I've filmed a video for you guys, but I'm back and I'm here with another hair tutorial. But this hair tutorial is going to be on myself. This is actually a requested video that I received on Instagram to recreate my everyday go-to lived-in waves that you see in this picture right here. So that's what I'm going to do for you today. This is one of the simplest ways to curl your hair. It's very in style and trendy to give like a loose, effortless, beachy feel. The way that I do it is a little bit more, I would say, like sophisticated, but with a little bit of an edge. So if you want to see how I recreate these loose waves, then we're just going to jump right into it. For me, I have pretty fine hair and about a medium amount of it. So I usually do just 2 large sections when I'm curling. If you have thicker hair, you might want to do 2 to 3 sections, but even on some of my clients in the salon, I usually just do 2 sections. That keeps it nice and big and loose, so that way it's not like super tight ringlets. So we're going to start off by around the temple, sectioning upwards from there, and then these are just going to be creating our 2 sections. So I'm just going to get this guy up here. Now honestly, for me, the biggest part of these curls is a product that you use rather than the technique that you do to curl your hair. Obviously both are very important, but it's important to prep your hair with the right products. So right now I actually have like 2nd or 3rd day pretty dirty hair, which is ideal for creating curls. About 1 day dirty hair is best, but I like to push the envelope with washing my hair. Yeah, I'm disgusting, I know. Typically I like to do this curl on like the first day that I wash my hair, because when I wash my hair it gets very soft and it likes to not hold a curl very well. So I usually use this Virtue mousse, the uplifted volumizing whip from Virtue. So that actually builds the foundation of my hairstyles usually, because it helps to expand my hair cuticle, so it actually helps to feel a little thicker, a little fuller, and it still lets me get a brush through it, which I really need. One of the most important steps in curling your hair is to spray your hair with hairspray before and after you curl. So I'm going to start off with this PRAVANA Super Shape Hairspray. This is my absolute favorite hairspray for honestly any look that you're going for, because it's humidity proof. PRAVANA is also a brand that I've worked with very closely. PRAVANA is also my #1 product that I always use on my hair and clients' hair. All of their products are sulfate free and sulfite free and paraben free, so I'm using a SEDU wand. This is, I believe, like a 35mm. You're going to start off by angling your wand down, and then I'm going to take about an inch, inch and a half thick sections, point my wand down, and then start to curl away from the face. One of the biggest differences with my curls is I leave about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches honestly, of my ends out, so I leave them straight. I've been growing my hair out for a long time, so I like to leave the length, and it also just helps to give a little bit more of that like textured, undone look, because it's not curled completely to your ends. And it's also a really nice hack if you're just starting to learn to use a wand, because that way you don't have to curl your ends, so you can just use that inch or 3 inch, however much of your ends you want to keep out, to make sure that you don't burn your fingers, like I have many, many times. So this is all that we're doing around the entire head. So I'm not going to bore you and talk throughout this whole process. So we're going to speed this up, and then I'll tell you things that I need to along the way. Now that we've finished with this section, like I said, we're going to spray our hair with hairspray before and after we curl. This is just going to help set our curls and start to create a little bit of memory while they're still tight and while they're cooling down. When your curls are cooling down, it's going to help to create a little bit of memory, so it's going to keep your curls lasting as long as possible. So we're going to do the same thing up here. Just prep the hair, brush it through before we start curling. I also don't have a mirror in front of me. If it looks like I'm missing any pieces, I probably am, because I can't see anything. Once I get to this top section, I always like to start a couple inches away from where my roots are. So I honestly am only curling like the midsection of my hair. I'm leaving a couple inches of the roots out and a couple inches of my ends out. I have my iron on high, so I only leave the curls on the iron for like 3 to 5 seconds. If you're just starting off, you can use a medium heat and leave it on for a little bit longer. It also helps if you have the potential of burning your hands. It's not going to hurt quite as bad, but it's still going to hurt. Okay, now the curls are done, so we're going to do a final spray of hairspray. So then you're going to want to wait at least 5 minutes before you do anything to these curls. You're going to look like Shirley Temple for a few minutes. If you really want these curls to be super long lasting, last you like a couple days and nights, I prefer to do these curls and pin them back with like a creaseless pin while I'm doing my makeup, because then they sit for 30-40 minutes depending on how extra I'm going that day. So once you brush your curls out from that point, they have so much memory that they're going to hold that shape for a few days afterwards. So my favorite way to brush out these curls is actually using like a wide tooth comb that has a lot of space in between each bristle. But I don't have a wide tooth comb with me here. I have like longer acrylic nails, so I can just kind of start to work my way through just to kind of break them up a little bit. I am going to go through with an actual brush, but I like to just start to break them up with my fingers before I go in with a brush, because when you just start off with a brush, it's going to give you a little bit more of like a uniform wave, which is still fine. It still works out. Because these are all going in the same direction, they are going to be a little bit more on the wave side. A typical beachy wave is really going to alternate each section. Like I said, I do it a little bit differently so that they are a little bit more uniform. Typically when I'm doing these curls on clients, I like to showcase the colors, so I still want them to have like a nice pattern to them without being a little bit too hectic. So now I'm going to take that brush and just start to brush through it. I like to start around the ends and then just kind of barely brush through the top. So now you can see that they're definitely a little bit more like a wave with a straight end. So you can totally leave it like this. This is a much more like sophisticated way of wearing these waves. But we're going to do like messy and textured and undone. So these last two products are like the finishing touch, the cherry on top, the big finale. So first off, I'm going to go in with the Big Sexy Get Layered hairspray. This is like a dry thickening hairspray, so it does have a little bit of hold to it, but my favorite part about this product is that it really does build texture into your hair. It makes your hair feel fuller and thicker, and it gives that perfect texture with having like a tiny bit of hold to it, so it honestly helps with the longevity of your curls. So I'm actually going to grab this whole section, whole side of my hair, and pull it up by my roots so that way it kind of opens it up a bit. And I'm just going to spray up into it while kind of pulling out. You can even tell just with that one spray, it makes such a difference with the fullness and texture of your hair. So I'm going to do that a couple times. Make sure you get the back, so the back of your head isn't like super flat. Look at that. Look at the difference. It's like Texas hair, boring, basic bitch hair. I mean, You definitely want to be careful with this stuff because if you add too much on, it is going to feel a little built up in your hair. So you're going to want to just give it a few sprays when you're initially finishing off your hair. So we like it big, but not quite this big. I'm actually going to go into my roots a little bit more with the layered spray, so that way we get it nice and voluminous up on the top. So I'm just going to start to separate it once again. We want that volume and want that fullness, but we're just going to bring it down to like a normal level here. There we go. Now for the final product, this is definitely optional, but I love this for more like detailing work. So this is r+co Mannequin. This is a styling paste, and it is used on dry hair. I usually like to take about a pea size on my fingertip and then really work it into the palms of my hands and my fingertips. And then you're not going to see it on your hands. It's going to feel really lightweight once it's on your hands. You're going to feel it start to create like a little bit of a tack and a texture into your hair. So I honestly just like to kind of freestyle it, just kind of go in and grab places that I really want to stand out. Then I'm going to take a teeny bit more and do the same thing, work it through my fingertips, and then taking these pieces that I really want to have texture to and just start to separate them. I always like to call it like the money making motion, so you're like putting hair in between your fingers while you're moving your fingers around, because that's really going to start to like make it piecey, create that like undone, not so uniform wave look. So once you get about the style that you want, we're going to take our hairspray once again. We're just going to set everything in place so that way it doesn't move. If you like this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up and subscribe. I know it's been a while since I put out a video, but I'm working on creating more content for you guys. So I would love for you guys to comment down below. Let me know what you want to see next, what you want to see more from me. If it's makeup, hair, lifestyle, just like chit-chatting and catching up with you guys. I talk way too much, so I try to make my videos a little bit less chatty. So if you want some chatty Cathy videos, let me know. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you recreate this hairstyle, to tag me on Instagram at @itsaspenray, and I will see you guys in my next video.